feel free to press play on song one. I'll give you these final few seconds to make sure you're really set up in your space. As you know, I like to burn some scents, cleanse the space a little bit. I invite you to do the same. Especially when we're practicing at home, it can feel nice to have some essential oils or anything that just makes the space feel a little bit different to how it did during our working day or our resting time. I'll wish you a warm welcome to this yin for letting go session. And we all have our various attachments to things. They can be something physical or an idea, perhaps, or narrative or relationship. And of course, this is normal, but we want to start releasing things that are not helpful to our well-being or not supporting us with being the highest version of ourselves. So even though it's hard to let go of some of the things we don't want to hold on to anymore, sometimes even a simple intention to let something small go or start the process of letting something go is the beginning of a journey to releasing something that no longer is yours to carry. We will start in a fetal position today, everybody. So lie on whichever side feels more comfortable for you. And as you bend your knees, hug your thighs in as close or as far as away from your belly as feels comfortable. And you'll be here for the next few moments, so make yourself nice and comfortable. You can place a pillow underneath your head, or you can use your arm as a pillow, as long as that won't give you pins and needles. You can place a cushion or a bolster in between your knees if that feels nice. I invite you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let go of your day so far. And here we are back in this position, this place where you started way back when you were in your mother's womb as a little fetus. It was a place where you were very safe and you were completely vulnerable, yet it was a guarantee that you would be supported and held. So I invite you to start meditating on what you would like to set an intention to let go of during this practice. And we really hold on to so many things as human beings. We hold on to tension in the body, limiting self-beliefs, expectations, grudges, guilt, shame, perfectionism, people, identities, you name it. So pick something that feels important for you today. Allow that to be your focus and start breathing in a more intentional way. Make it slower and more meaningful, and imagine that you're beginning that process of letting go every exhalation that you take. And because we are so wonderfully complex as human beings, it's really part of the beauty of life. We often live life in a heavier way than we really need to. So before we officially dive into the practice and the postures together, I'll read you something called the Four Agreements from a guy called Don Miguel Ruiz. And when I read his book, The Four Agreements, a few years ago, it really changed my life. It changed my perception and it allowed life to feel a bit easier, knowing these four agreements, as he called them, or these four little nuggets of wisdom that I'm about to read to you. And the first one is be impeccable with your word. So, speaking in the direction of truth and love. And also being somebody to trust. And number two, don't take anything personally. When we understand that everyone's actions and behavior is because of what they're experiencing in their life, we can be set free. Number three, don't make assumptions. It's so easy to think that we can read someone's mind when or that they can read ours, but really openness is best. And number four, always do your best. You cannot do anything more than that. From your fetal position, press one hand into the ground and just very slowly make your way up to kind of half sit so that you can flip onto your back. Take any movements that feel nice here. You can circle out through your joints, your wrists, your ankles perhaps, or any other stretches that will feel good. Take a nice big deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, hug your knees into your chest, grab your shins. and take a rock from side to side. And we'll start in a figure of four stretch by crossing the left ankle over the right knee. If you can all do the left first, because I'm going to direct you all to get into the next posture from here. If it feels comfortable for you, you can interlace your fingers behind your right thigh or at the front of your right shin, but you don't need to push it too hard. Just allow this to be a nice, gentle stretch. And normally in a figure of four stretch, we're told to flex the toes. You can allow your foot to be nice and relaxed here, as long as you're not feeling any pain through your left knee. And as you draw a deep breath in, allow your whole upper body to relax on the exhale. Let's say you're putting the least amount of effort possible. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. And start to feel your left hip, your left glute open, your hamstring. And just allow any other sensations to simply be there. We do store a lot of tension in the hips. We can tend to squeeze in this area, especially if we have an intrusive thought or you're holding on to something. It can be a highly emotional area for us, especially as women. If it feels good for you to take a bit of gentle movement, sometimes I find that if I take a rock from side to side, it starts to add a bit more stretch through the left glute and the hamstring. You're welcome to play with some gentle shifts. And from your figure of four stretch, we're going to take this into a bit of rotation for the lower back. So just releasing the back of your right thigh, you'll send your left knee to the left. So you're just twisting and sending those knees over to the left side. Allow your right foot to relax on the ground. And option one, you're either using that left foot to kind of pull down that right knee towards the left. Or if it's too much for you, you can just release that top foot and allow your legs to come into 90-90. I'm also going to show you on this side so you can see me. I want you to have a shuffle around here. See what feels comfortable. It might even be comfortable for you to lower your feet or change your shape slightly. And here you should be feeling a twist all the way from your lower back through to the front of your hip. And wherever you feel any limitation, really visualize sending your breath there. Because we often take a shortened position through the front of the body, whether we're sitting in a chair or we're standing, when we start to extend and rotate this part of the body, there are definitely feelings of stickiness. And you'll even notice that as you come into this, there will be certain limbs and joints and probably ligaments and muscles that are holding on for dear life. See if you can notice which part of you is trying to protect you. And if you feel safe enough, can you let it go? So we're surrendering to gravity, we're letting go of effort. 3 more slow breaths. Very slowly shift onto the center of your spine, almost back into that figure of 4. Let's take a quick reset in between sides by bringing both feet flat on the ground. Make them nice and wide and let your knees rest in toward one another. When you're ready, right ankle crosses over left knee. If it feels okay for you, reach your left thigh into your chest. Grab the back of your thigh or the front of your shin. And as always in yin, all of these cues that I give you are just a guide. You're really finding what feels optimal for your body. So rather than working towards any shape or any particular depth, sometimes it can be so helpful to close the eyes and almost release that sense of effort, that sense of trying. And when you close the eyes, ask yourself, where am I feeling this stretch? Where does it feel good? Where does it feel too much? Where can I become a little bit softer? Where can I do less rather than doing more? Which is the opposite of a yang practice. But the benefit to this is you taking care of your precious nervous system. When you take care of your nervous system, your organs work optimally. You're able to get a better quality sleep. You feel more emotionally balanced. And in fact, your whole body is just in this state of homeostasis. It's the place that we want to be. Let's take this into that twist. So now your knees are maneuvering over to the right side. And you're keeping your foot on the side of that left knee. And this should be a twist for the lower back, and it should also feed around to the front of your left hip. If it's too much for you, just release that right foot down to the ground and allow yourself to be here. You choose the depth and the intensity that works for you. Remember, you shouldn't be feeling any pain on the knee. So really noticing in a yin practice when our body is trying to give us various messages. And that's when You come in and you try to support yourself better. Perhaps it's changing the shape, using a prop, doing less, breathing more. What can you release and let go of here in the physical body? Or if there's any mental tension, simply observe it and return to your deeper quality of breathing. Three more breaths. Visualize directing your breath where you feel sticky. Slowly take your time rolling onto your back. Again, to allow your spine to reset, bring your feet nice and wide, feet on the ground. Let your knees rest in towards one another and just feel that sense of the lower back just releasing. Feel free to place your hands onto your body and take a few expansive breaths here as you let your body recalibrate. So letting your knees separate now, keeping your feet flat on the ground. We'll take that twist into the upper back now. So spine is a part of the body that becomes very restricted as we move through life, especially when we're holding on to things. We're always very protective. Around our torso, we have a lot of vital organs there. So for the next posture, I'll just ask you to straighten your legs and straighten your right arm for me. Palm faces up. Twist your whole body to the right and bend your left knee. And just place your left knee either flat on the ground or put a cushion underneath it if it feels a bit too much for you. So you're lying on your right side. With your left hand, palm faces down, just hover it above your right. Create a few spirals through the body here by taking a nice big deep breath in. Look at your left fingertips and allow your arm to reach above and past your face. Reach it around to the left side and feel that big spiral through your upper back. Good. And now send your hand down and past your thigh. So essentially what you're doing is you're drawing a big circle with your left arm bone. Inhale. Exhale, looking to the left, feeling that deep rotation. And exhale, hand slides past the thigh again. Let's do 3 more and move to the rhythm of your breath. Don't feel the need to rush it. So many of our joints that are capable of moving in these big circular motions, these big spirals, but we don't get so many of them through the body, which is why they can feel quite intense. On your final reach around to the left, take a look to your left hand and let your left shoulder get heavy on the ground. It might mean that your left knee lifts from the ground. That's okay. And we'll just stay here in this thoracic twist for 5 slow breaths. Relax your fingers, your arms, your face, and let gravity do its thing. Okay, slowly come back to center and take any rebound posture of your choice. Perhaps it will feel natural to straighten the legs, or you might want knees into chest to really reset that spine. Just follow your intuition here. And this process of carefully tuning into what the body needs, no matter what we're being instructed to do, is an important one. And the more we listen, the louder our inner voice gets. And this is what we want. We want to be aligned with all the little messages that our body is constantly trying to give us. Okay, straighten your legs. If you pulled your knees into your chest, extend your left arm this time, palm faces up. And this time you're twisting your whole body to the left. Bend your right knee, place it on the ground, and you're hovering your right hand on top of left. Inhale as you reach your arm past your face. Take a look to the right. And exhale. Hand brushes past the thigh. Good. So just creating those nice big arm circles in your shoulder joint again. And really moving at your own pace. And just feeling what you feel. You might be feeling it in different parts of the body, not just the upper back. But then we start to understand the relationship of the body and how even what we do in our fingertips or our arms or our upper spine affects what we feel in our legs, our lower back, sometimes even our feet. And on your next big arm circle, as you reach around to the right, allow your right shoulder to get heavy on the ground. And if your knee needs to lift from the ground, just allow it. 5 slow, deep breaths. Slowly come onto your back, come into any position that feels natural for your body to reset. Now, softly rolling over to one side, use your hand, press it into the ground. And for the next position, we're going to flip over onto our bellies and take a half frog. I'm going to show you a couple of different options here. So, option one, if you're fine lying on your belly, you're welcome to just come straight into it. Right knee bends, and knee can be at any angle. So if you need something a bit less intense, the knee is below the hip. And then see if you can shift your ankle below your knee. If you want something a bit more intense, really kind of scrunch it right up there. If you need a little bit extra, you can even place a brick underneath your knee and then kind of really roll onto the front of that left thigh so that you feel a little bit more of a stretch. If you're avoiding lying on your belly today, I have another nice option for you where you can grab a couple of bolsters or you can grab a brick and a bolster. And instead of lying on your belly, you'll kind of almost lie on your left side. And then you'll bend your right knee and just stack it on top of your raised platform. Of course, place any cushions underneath your knees, but the same concept, kind of roll onto the front of that left thigh to give yourself a bit more of a stretch. So choosing any option that's going to allow your right hip to start opening. And start to let go. Release any squeezing through the upper body or any resistance of gravity. Release any tension around the neck or the face. And start to release any gripping around your hips, your pelvic floor. And fully breathe into any part of you that feels it needs that extra nourishment, that extra life force. We'll hold this for another 3 minutes. So allow yourself to sink into it. Now I'll read you some words from young Pueblo, who always talks about attachments in such an eloquent way. He said an attachment is a deep craving for things to be a certain way. We feel stress, tension, and hurt when reality moves away from how we like things to be. For example, love itself does not hurt, but all of the attachments that wrap themselves around love can cause us mental pain. Breathing in and letting go as you breathe out. One more minute. When we've been holding yin postures for anything more than 2 minutes, our ligaments are quite vulnerable. So always move out of these postures very slowly and very carefully. You'll slowly start to extend that right leg back. Take your time. And we'll do a simple shift to the other side. If you're lying on your belly, simply bend your right knee and you choose the height of your knee, whether it needs to be below the hip or a bit higher. See if you can align your ankle with your knee. Place a brick or a cushion underneath your left knee if you need a bit extra, and take a big roll onto that right thigh, onto the front of it. If you're taking it from the side, roll onto your right side, stack your props up, and place your left knee over your props. And we'll be here for the same amount of time, about 5 minutes. So do a physical scan. Where can you let go? Physically, mentally, emotionally. And the mixture of neurobiology and human biology is now teaching us that every single thought we have has an impact on our physical body. It travels through the nervous system and affects us on a cellular level, which is why it's so valuable to take time to pay attention to our thoughts and to take our time paying attention to our physical bodies and to release what we no longer need. Young Pueblo also said, if the pain was deep, you'll have to let it go many times. We often do not realize how every time we react to what we feel, it makes an imprint on the mind and the body, especially during moments of intense emotion. The imprint can be so deep that the hurt will come up many times as we move through our healing and deconditioning process. But in these moments, our only real option is the patience to keep observing and loving ourselves, and to find a technique that helps us unbind and unload the old heaviness that we carry. There are so many healing techniques and practices out there. Some include journaling, one-on-one therapy, different kinds of meditation and body practices, and so much more. What matters is finding something that meets you with where you are at. Breathing in and letting go as you breathe out. You have one more minute of simply releasing here whatever you are able to release. And then slowly allowing your left leg to extend back. You can lie on your side or lie on your belly. And give yourself a few breaths here. Always allowing the body to integrate and absorb any sensations from the postures that we hold. And now, in your own way, keeping your eyes half closed or your gaze low to the ground, slowly bring yourself up into a nice kind of floppy sit. Nothing too jerky, just kind of yawning your way up. And you'll only be here for a moment to set yourself up for the final posture that we'll take before relaxation. If you have two bolsters, I'll ask you to place one lengthways and one horizontally, almost like an upside down T shape. If you don't have any bolsters, no problem. Can you get a couple of piles of cushions or pillows? I'll show you the position we're going to go into. You're going to sit on your first bolster, which is horizontal, and you're going to lay your spine back onto your bolster or your cushions that you've built up. If you're using cushions, just make sure they're supporting the backs of your shoulder blades. I want you to position yourself so that you feel a nice front body opening here. So if you kind of see this shape that I'm making, I know we don't ever focus on shapes in yin, but you'll kind of see that the back of my body is in a gentle arc shape. And what this does is it really elongates and opens the front of the body. So take your time to get nice and comfortable here. So we'll be here for 5 minutes. And of course, your arms can reach wherever they feel comfortable. It could just be down by your sides. It could be in a T shape. It could be that you're reaching overhead and just gently grabbing one wrist. Breathe space into your body. And continue exhaling anything that you want to let go of or anything that does not serve you. If there are any muscles or little micro muscles of yours that are really trying here and putting in a lot of effort, can you give those parts of you permission to do a lot less? And continuing to take soft but expansive inhales, you'll notice that the front of your body gets an even deeper stretch from the simple act of inviting more breath into the body. Start to feel the surface layer of your skin stretching, pulling, expanding. And then as you exhale, everything just naturally rebounds back into place. You have 2 more minutes. If at any point you need to make an adjustment to the position of your arms or your hands, then feel free to do so. The ultimate goal here is a sense of relaxation and surrender, and sometimes that means moving around a little bit, making ourselves comfortable. Savor these last few breaths. And take a moment of gratitude for this incredible synergy that's happening in your body every time you breathe. Organs dancing and working in harmony together so that oxygen can be delivered to every single cell in your body. Next, bend your knees. Lift your hips up a couple of centimeters and then just casually roll off your cushions or your bolsters and bend your knees, roll over onto one side and come back into that fetal position. Let's rebound here. And you can make yourself any shape that feels nice to counter that last hold. Allow yourself to drop once more and let go. And we'll finally start shifting into our final posture of the day, relaxation, shavasana. So if you would like cushions or a bolster behind the backs of your knees or a blanket or anything else that's going to make you nice and cozy and comfortable, grab your bits, get what you need. Final integration of your practice. While you rest, I'll read you a series of affirmations for releasing and letting go. And if any of them feel relevant for you at this moment in time, or your intention that you set at the beginning of the session, then feel free to hold them close. I let go of what no longer serves me. I release all limiting beliefs. I release self doubt. I let go of fear. I release attachment to outcome. I release toxic friendships. I let go of relationships that no longer serve my highest good. I let go of worry. I release lack and know that the universe is abundant. I let go of negativity. I release all that is not in alignment with my life path. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly start to reawaken your senses by using the power of your breath. Sometimes we can do big things with simple acts and simple intentions. And give yourself a bit of micro movement in your body. I won't tell you which part to move, just let your body express intuitively at the pace in which it's ready to move and where it's ready to move. And in your own way, use the next 3 breaths or even 5 breaths to slowly bring yourself up into a seated position. Really keep this yin like quality to every movement you make, not feeling the need to rush or jerk or do, just kind of slowly yawning your way there. And whenever you do arrive, place your left hand onto your heart, right hand on your belly. Bow your chin to your chest. And I invite you to think of anything at all that you feel grateful for at this moment in your life. And we'll take a big exhale now to close that practice. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.